2022. Wow. On my Billy Todd this week. Deanery's at home, going to spend it with his family. As we all know, Dean is going through stuff with his father, battling cancer. So we're sending everything, love, hope, prayers, and everything that they have as long as they can, and as healthy and as prosperous of a time as whatever's gifted them, you know.
Big love.
So I said to him, just spend the evening at home, chill with your family and that, you know what I mean. Every Friday night you've been coming down, smashing it off. 12 o'clock he's been getting home at. But we're going to do stuff a little bit different this week. Remember a couple of weeks ago we had Anthony, remember Billy Moore and Anthony Charlie Veach, that whole documentary that we had, it's like reached 12,000. Well, the whole impactful message that we have behind that was about what we do here in the rap culture, and the kids that are kind of, we'll say, slanging the message and promoting a set product to be sold in society and that kind of way. And at the end of the day, it's like these kids don't even know what they're talking about. A lot of these kids are victims themselves, you know what I mean? Like, and we discussed all of this a couple of weeks ago, but we've got someone else in the building who's going to talk to us about his story. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, Geoff.
My name's Geoff Clarke.
I'll
I'm
push
from
that straight over to you, man.
Thank you. So I'm Geoff, I'm from Blackburn. I'm 48 years old. And I'm a heroin crack addict. I took pharmaceuticals, and this is my story. So I grew up in a council estate in Blackburn, and it was rough, you know, back in the 70s, early 80s, and no trauma, no childhood trauma at all. My mum and dad worked hard to get me a good education, and I'm one of four. I'm the oldest of four. I have two sisters and a brother who's died to the disease I've got, which is addiction. So I took my first joint and drink at a 12-year-old, and soon it escalated to mushrooms and psychedelic, you know, ease and tips. And the 90s in Blackburn were really good. I'm not gonna lie, I did drugs because I loved them. That simple. And back then my consequences weren't so big. I had a good job. I'm an electrician, I'm an engineer, I'm quite intelligent, educated. Like I said, my mum and dad did their best to give us what they could, and we didn't struggle. My dad worked hard and my mum did two jobs. So we had a good home, good living family home, no traumas, nothing bad, no consequences, like I said. Then the point scene ended about 94, 95. Then I started smoking smack.
How did it evolve? So there was the party, and it was the
So it was just like coming down.
Probably spending a lot of time over in Rishton at not Maxime's. What was in Rishton?
Monroe's.
Monroe's.
Yeah.
So it goes from Monroe's lifestyle.
Yeah.
To
Carlos, to Nelson and Peps in Blackburn, life in Manchester. You know, really enjoyed
Syndicate,
it.
all of them, yeah.
All of them.
So
Maxine's as well, Blackpool.
It comes from that lifestyle to smoking heavier stuff. How did that transition happen?
So,
what was the catalyst of what?
Of an evening we were coming down, and we couldn't get any weed, believe it or not. Back then it was red seal and gold seal, resin.
Fish in the box.
Yeah. So one time we thought we'd get some gear, for want of a better word. And we knew all about it. We knew all the lads on the estate, and I personally used to take the money off them, you know. In fact, dealers used to pay us to leave them alone so they could score, you know, in peace, and we didn't tax them. That's the truth of it. So we tried it, and I just did it for years, just on a Friday with one of my best friends, who's sadly still in the madness. So yeah, we were smoking every Friday. Unbeknownst to me, he was doing it every day while I were at work. But one day, I think it was in like 25, 26, I was in Southport with my kids, because by then
So
I had
2005.
yeah, two
2000.
kids. We're in Southport in the Pleasureland in Southport, rides and stuff. I had a good girlfriend who were normal, just drunk on a weekend, and she could put it down. She smoked the odd bit of weed here and there, but not like I did. You know, I did everything to extremes, totally extremes, insane. So I went to toilet, we ordered a meal, I went to toilet, I thought, something's not right, I don't feel well. That was the first time I realised I was rattling, I was addicted, I was an addict, because I knew all about it, but it didn't affect me until then. So the basic gist of it, we rushed on, we left the meal, everything, packed the kids in the car and drove back to Blackburn really quick. Honestly, 20-minute journey, if that. And it should have
55 all the way down, yeah.
Bombed it. I had a really nice car as well. So, bombed it back. I left there outside this stranger's house while I went in and had a smoke quickly because I needed it. My body needed it, craved it. By then I went on a script for nothing, methadone by the way, which is poison, total poison.
Just an additional drug, innit, really?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's replacing one with another.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm stood in the dealer's house. My kids and my wife are outside in the car, and I'm smoking smack, on foil. But I still didn't think I were as bad as other smackheads. I didn't beg, I worked, I had a good job, I had a mortgage, a house, we both had cars. So life was good. I didn't really have consequences that back then. So fast forward a couple of years and started with crack. Just the weekend, like, by this time my heroin use had every day, I know, on a script. By the way, they give you a lot more than you need. You know, they try to stabilise you, the drug workers. And I said it to someone today when
Is that in a way where they give you reckon they give you like, so you don't want to go score, you don't want to...
Yeah, they
So
try
is that
to,
what you
but
mean
you
by this,
use
like...
on top as well. So at this stage I was using 40 mils, 50 mils of methadone, a couple of bags a day, crack as well, just smoking at this point. But the weekend after work, it was tablets, diazepam, temazepam, DFs, anything basically I could get my hands on, even Log-Actil, you know, anything. And I smashed it to death. Like an alcoholic could say, I'm a blackout drinker. I drink till I drop. So I took drugs till I dropped. But I still didn't think I was a drug addict because I went begging, I went homeless, I still had my job, I still do my 9 to 5, but to be fair, I was smoking in people's attics, you know, and I still didn't think I was bad as they were. So I had friends dealing it for me because they were addicted and they needed to pay for their habits. I had money, so I used to buy it in bulk and give it to my friends to sell. I'd stash things all over the garden, not in the house, but all over the garden. Tell my friends where it were so they could do it when I weren't there. Because I worked hard, I did work hard. Yeah, so again, forward a few years, and it was just before the pandemic hit. I think it was 2018, 2017. I was shotting, selling drugs. I was running around, saw a dealer, an Asian dealer in Blackburn. Had a really busy round, so he offered to pay me to drive for him. And I'm not gonna kid you, a really good gear, that's why I was scoring off him. But I didn't have time to have a smoke, so I ended up digging. That's the truth of it. So I was digging all over, my veins were slowly collapsing and rotting away, like they do. Intravenous use in my arms and my feet, and anywhere I could get a vein, basically. And then the pandemic hit. I was still shotting, still dealing. Pandemic hit. So
I reckon drugs increased then. Like
they did.
People made money.
Twofold.
Without the drugs, I
So,
was just cutting hair, but I was making money, man.
About eight grand a day from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, and then someone else would do night shift. 8 grand I was handing over in cash, and all this time I was taking as many drugs as I could physically take. I was cooking up traffic lights and stuff, injecting them while red light were there. And eventually I was using my neck to digging in my neck. My drug worker was ringing me up of an evening because I was missing appointments because I was running and stuff, missing my methadone appointments and stuff. So she was ringing me up to just check if I were alive because they knew what I was doing. I had bruises all over my body. Yeah, so yeah, it got totally outrageous. The pills, everything. I smashed them to death. And we were coming off to Manchester and buying boxes of pills, and that was meant to last me a month, but a week later I'd be coming off of it more. I was taking them like Smarties. Everything I could get, everything. And I'll get to it. I can't remember the names, but I'll get to that in a sec. So, yeah. Just after the pandemic, after lockdown lifted, I started getting ill. But I didn't know what it were. And like any typical male, you just put it down to just man up. And then every couple of weeks I'd have a few good days. All this time I was using more and more drugs. So eventually I'd had enough. And I talked to my key worker at services, drug services, about rehab, possibly rehab. By this time I was living in a hostel in Blackburn, Shelburne House, really bad hostel. But
so because we've kind of just touched off, but if you could tell me, shut up if you don't mind getting into it. But so how you ended up in the hostel? So you had a family. You had a family, two houses.
So yeah,
what happened?
The consequences of me using, me and my partner split. Still seeing my children, still sending money, but I just isolated because of shame and what I've become. I didn't plan on, me leavers do, my career officer. I didn't say to her, look, I want to be a drug addict. That wasn't the case. honestly, like I say, I had a good career. I had everything. I just loved drugs. That's the plain and simple fact. I really love drugs.
So she just had enough of because she
Yeah,
wasn't into the drugs.
Chaos, absolute chaos.
she
My
took the
life was
kids.
chaos.
You left, or did she leave with the kids?
No, she left.
She left, and yeah, I've been there. It's tough, innit? You're on your Billy Todd,
Yeah.
and like you said, you.
But it was just like green light to just use what I wanted, and I did. And sorry to skip forward and backwards. So
Yeah,
she
no,
left
it's
in
fine.
about 2010, I think it were, after my youngest son was born.
Yeah.
So
How
yeah,
many kids have you got?
I've got 3 with the same partner.
3 with the same partner.
Yeah,
I've 6 with 3 different women.
Year.
So
we're
do-
here 15 years.
So I'm no one to judge
I know,
on kids.
I
I've
know,
got 3
but
with 3
she
different
put up
women.
with
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot. A typical example. So within, I'm sorry, I'm for saying that. You know, we were in Tenerife and she miscarried in departure lounge. What did I do? Left her in the hospital with no English speakers to score in Las Americas. That was my drug use. Me. And when my methadone and stuff had run out, fast types another thing they were called back in there. When they'd run out, I was drinking to stave off my row. You know,
And it was
Tenerife.
you don't even think of lager. You drink
No, we're drinking vodka.
vodka. You
by
go
the
for heavy
bottle.
stuff straight
They
away. Yeah,
poured
yeah.
it
I've
by
been
the
there.
bottle.
I've been there. And you think you don't. That's what I mean. You don't think I'm going for lager. You get the strong stuff, the
Lager's
strongest.
waste of
Yeah.
time.
That's
So
it.
like me drug use, me drinking were
It's got to be.
extreme.
Yeah, it's got to be blasted. Yeah.
And I drink it as quick as I can. You know, just get it inside me to stave off the row, because the methadone and stuff had long gone since before the holiday finished. So like I say, ended up in a hostel, living alone in a hostel, not a good hostel either. It's not the staff, it's just
Environment.
yeah, the clients, if you will, the chaos, you know, they're just lost souls. They need help, and they don't know how to get the help. So, in the hostel, I've been there 2 years, but I was thriving. If you had anything, I'd get it off you. I had people asking me to score because I was still running. I never went to jail, I don't know, because I got stopped 3, 4, 5 times, and every time I'd swallow the stuff, you know, I plug it, and I got away with it. I did, and that's truth. Anyone who knows me will tell you that's truth. I was really good at my job. A job, you call it job, you know, it's insane. An electrician ended up shotting for Asians in Blackburn and handing over $8,000 a day.
You could be taking $8,000 every 3 or 4 weeks on the jobs of an electrician.
Yeah.
Your money, you know what I mean?
Legitimate as
Legitimate.
well.
Nobody
Helping
can
other
take
people.
it. Yeah.
So, while I was at a hostel, I started getting really poorly, and this was 2024. But I didn't know what it were. Like I said, I had a couple of good days every few weeks, and I just batted off. And in October, I finally started. I was struggling to breathe. I just thought it were just a bug. I put it down to a bug. And then in December, same year, started to get like paralysis. I couldn't talk, couldn't move my left side. So people thought I'd had a stroke at first. So I finally went to doctors, but I lied to the doctor, obviously, because I didn't want to show how bad they were. I could hardly walk, honestly. I had to get a taxi there and drag my foot you know, I was paralysed, totally paralysed on my left, and I just, one word answers to doctor, and they
Like a
rushed.
stroke, like
Yeah.
a stroke, a full.
But I'd not experienced no chest pains, you know, so like I say, I lied to her anyway. She just give me antibiotics, and I'm allergic to penicillin anyway, so they were weak, you know, they weren't really good antibiotics, you know. I started taking them, and this was through Christmas, and in January 2025, I collapsed. That's when my drug using had told me. I'm in a room in the hostel by myself. I couldn't eat myself because I couldn't sit up to get the food. I cooked up my gear and stuff that someone else had got for me from a dealer, and I couldn't even do it. You know, I was still sat there while I were in hospital. It was still sat there. So in January 31st, 2025, I collapsed, finally. I was still not digging. So staff rung an ambulance, and they were
This was in the
flabbergasted.
hostel. You were in the hostel.
Yeah, still
Right.
in the hostel. They were flabbergasted. I lost like 2 stone in weight. I was only 10 stone at this point. And I was so poorly. I really, really were poorly. So they rushed me to the hospital, which bizarrely were just round the corner from the hostel. And they quickly put me in brain scan, a CT scan, because they thought I had a stroke. And I'll never forget the nurse's face. She took me to a side room, and my sister works at the hospital, and she's a senior nurse, you know. She really is an angel, and she's a loving angel. They all are. So this nurse says to me, Geoff, you need to ring your family. I said, why? She said, Geoff, you've not had a stroke, you've got cancer in your brain, and it's the worst scan I've seen for 35 years. We don't think you'll last till end of month, so you need to get your family up and tell them.
Glioblastoma.
Yeah, lesions on my brain.
Glioblastoma.
Yeah, I had 5. 2 at the front and 3 at the back. So I got my family up. And what's sad were the fact that I tell my children, my 2 daughters were grown up, but my son were a bit younger. I had to tell them I'm dying, and the nurse don't think I'll last till the end of the month. This was February, and I cried. You know, it was a really hard time, really hard. I was still paralysed, so my daughters, God bless them, they used to come up to me, see me every day, and my sisters as well.
So how old are your kids at this point? Because you were 20.
Yeah, we're 2 years ago.
So your youngest were born in 2010. So
yeah.
How old were your kids then? Your kids are 14, 15 at this point.
Yeah. Well, my son was 14. My daughters were 20 and 24.
So adults.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, young women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're working care system as well. The nurses of sorts. And Megan cares for a lad with multiple sclerosis, so it was hard for her to accept. A lot of tears, a lot of anguish. I've been through my dad dying and not shed a tear. In fact, I scored on the way to my dad's funeral, and that was in 2024, but this was the saddest time of my life. It was worse than my breakup and my marriage, you know. I had to tell my kids I was dying, and
It's
not
like
to
your
be
whole
sad.
life. Your whole life, we admitted it. Like as addicts, it's like we are the more selfish people. Yeah, and
Me.
yeah, and then all of a sudden you're getting told that you're gonna die. So again, in that moment, you're like, I don't want to die. Like, and at that particular point is when you have the right to be selfish.
Yeah.
Because it's your life. It's your life we're talking about now. So at that particular point, you have that right to be selfish, and you're probably feeling that, you know, everything that you're going through, but you do not want to die.
Me.
Yeah.
Poor me.
But you don't want to die still, though. But you're entitled to
I'm a
be selfish
fighter.
at that point. It's mad because it's the one time where you are and you fully are allowed to be, and this is the one time you don't want this. You don't want to be in this position. You don't want them to feel it. You don't want this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely
And it's like
not. Absolutely
it's
not.
come full circle at this stage.
Yeah. So yeah, my daughters and my sisters were coming up to feed me, and clothed me and shared me, because between 1st of February going into hospital and 14th of April when I had surgery, brain surgery, I was getting progressively worse every day. I had lumbar punctures, I had feeding tubes, and I started having very bad colonic seizures, which lasted 20 minutes time. And I was really, really poorly, but still, I didn't think it were drugs, you know, per brain. So yeah, I'm in the hospital bed. I'm paralysed. I couldn't move. I certainly couldn't feed myself. I can't read. At this point, I can't even operate my phone. So I'm fucked, but I'm trapped because my mind was working, my brain worked, but
Just nothing would signal.
I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even blink to acknowledge it. So I went to Preston for surgery. This was April 14th, 2025. And they saved my life there. They quickly diagnosed me scans as these lesions on my brain, but they weren't clear whether it was drugs, which is certainly suspected were, whether it was the fact that I used to have headaches, you know, because running and the stress of running and shouting, you blank stuff out with drugs, you know, use more and more because they were on top, you know. So I had a really bad. I had lines in my arms, pink lines and mid lines would run from your arm to your heart. At that stage, my veins were so short, they're like tattoos. I had to have a centre line which is on your neck, stitched in neck with 3 or 4 ends, so they can take blood quickly and put more stuff into you.
So like a normal drip wasn't working.
Not enough. They couldn't get enough into me. They tried all sorts of drugs.
It's like a hose with fucking lines everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just
they were.
Forget that. We're gonna go to the source now. Yeah.
So the end product were brain surgery. They started least invasive and worked up to surgery. And this is last chance saloon, Geoff. This point, I was still smoking. I smoked cigarettes, but I had to be taken out because I couldn't walk. So I had to be taken out once a day. That's all I got out, you know, once a day. And they had to hold the cigarette for me to smoke because I couldn't hold it myself. That's how bad I were. So I'm in Preston Hospital having brain surgery, and I'm sitting across from him. The guy in the bed opposite from me had half his head missing, and a major brain trauma. So I'm sat there thinking, I'm looking at him, mind is still sharp, still working. I'm an intelligent guy, thinking, bloody hell, it's just gonna be me. And
Do I want to go through this to live like that
Yeah,
in the end?
yeah,
Is it worth it? Is it going to be
So-
worth it?
yeah, we're tossing up
Yeah.
whether it, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
don't want to be a vegetable.
You're still
I'm broken at this point.
playing, trying to figure out a card in your head.
In
You're
fact,
still trying to pull a card, in you, that particular. But there's no more cards to pull. You know what I mean? It's like,
From the 1st of February to the 14th of April, I died twice already. One a seizure, I died in having a seizure, and once I collapsed. So I died twice by this point. And I asked the nurses to plant me in the corner and feed me once a day. You know, I thought I was a vegetable and that was it. Geoff's fault, you know, sorry for swearing.
you're right.
And
We'll let it off with the message that we're getting out here.
Sorry.
We're trying to. So,
Sorry.
with all of this being said, so the reason why we want your story to be heard. So that's.
no, I've not finished.
Right, go on.
So I woke up from surgery. I was blind. I was still paralysed, totally paralysed. I had a breathing tube in my throat because I couldn't breathe for myself. I had a catheter in, and I was bed bathed because I couldn't get up. I couldn't wind my own bum. I was being fed by a tube at first down to my gut, liquid food, because I couldn't eat, couldn't digest food myself. And like I say, I was blind, but all I had was smells. That's all I experienced for 3 months, just smells. So my vision started coming back, and I started to learn to walk again. By this time they transferred me back to Blackburn from Preston. And the nurses cared for me and looked after me. By this time I were first name terms with most of them, because I've been there a few months already. You generally in and out of the hospital in a few days.
Yeah.
I spent a week off 9 months there. A week off 9 months I was there in the hospital. A week in Preston, rest of the time in Blackburn. So I'm well known. My sister worked there in A&E. My other sister used to come up because her husband worked in gastro wards. So well known and liked amongst nurses. They learned me to walk again. My speech is still improving. But in there, I sat down with the doctors and did a reduction plan of methadone, which I was still taking, and they still gave me codeine and morphine for my brain surgery. And I sat down with the doctors and we talked about rehab and getting well, getting my life back together. But I still didn't identify as an addict because I didn't know about it. So they're coming up to see me from the drug services, you know, to check on me, check how things were going, whether I want to do rehab.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the nurses got me up and talking, but my sisters all the time, unbeknownst to me at the time, I was locked on the ward, so people from my hostel couldn't come and see me and give me drugs. Because they would have done.
Yeah.
I was well known and well liked, and a friend helps a friend.
Yeah.
No matter how bad, and they'd have got it sorted out as well. So my sisters had me locked away, and that's what it took for me to start getting clean. So I sat down with the doctors and we worked through a plan of reduction. So at the time between February 1st and I think it was July 24th, my sobriety today, I got off spice, heroin, crack, pregabalin, pregabs, diazepam and ketamine all at once, one rattle, right through. I don't even smoke now, I don't smoke. I eat healthy, look after myself. But
You look quite healthy.
yeah.
You don't look like a man who's
So I showed
first
you
and foremost
earlier.
is
Death door.
yeah.
Death door.
You still looked alright. You're still people that looked worse. You know what I mean? It was bad. It definitely was bad.
I look 20 years younger. I know
you do. You look very healthy. You've got weight in your face. You've got weight like you see it on camera here. We're filming it like so. You've. It's mad because normally it's like people have accused me of doing it. So I'll walk past someone and all of a sudden they'll look at my eye and they'll come back and they go, "Yo, have you?" And I know what they've just checked out is my jawline, my cheekbones, and they've checked out my cheekbones and they're thinking this guy. Now me, I started uni, starved myself. I looked quite healthy before uni. I had 2 more kids to table, but I get that. You know what I mean? The whole aspect of being frowned and being so. When you look in the mirror now, do you feel
healthy?
Do you feel
still,
what? Not like as in the look inside. How do you feel now inside?
Inside.
Do you feel? Are you happy with everything that you've now overcome?
Let me finish. So I went into rehab. My sisters actually marched me through doors of rehab in Blackburn, a local treatment centre. So I couldn't get less use up because one use up will kill me. Relapse is an option for me because my brain will swell again and it'll kill me. I'll fall down, not just from drugs, you know, that I'll overdose from drugs because of no tolerance anymore, and my brain swelling will kill me and I choose life. Like train spotting, choose life. So
I knew I heard that phrase before.
Yeah, it's not mine.
It's good.
So mine's when I come into treatment in I think it was August, they finally give me all clear from the brain scan. So I went treatment in August. The party was well and truly over. The party's over. I did 35 years, 38 years of partying. Smashed every drug possible to the max, you know, and I took no prisoners. I enjoyed it and I won't change it for anything. I did have fun. I did a lot of fun. I had a good life, but that was my journey, my path, and I still didn't identify as an addict, you know. It's still all the madness. I still didn't think I was that bad. So in treatment, in the first week of treatment, I walked through the door, honest, open-minded and willing. And just say to the I was there for 6 months. It's not so bad. I like the lads. So like I say, I'm popular anyway, I'm outgoing. But when I first went to treatment, I could hardly talk. That's how much my speech should come on in 6 months, 7 months. So I could hardly talk, but lads sort of got me. You know, they knew from my expressions and my odd words even what I meant, and they were so understanding, like the staff, they're patient and understanding. But I was there to do a job, so it's a 12-step rehab. So got on my step work, started reading, because by the time I could read again, it feels a bit like dyslexia must feel. So at first I had to put a rule on each line as I read it, so I didn't jump from word to word, and you know, bizarre how words jump out at you. All this time I'm still hardly able to speak. I still ain't good with stairs. That's how much I've come on, you know. My mate's shocking still. That's they think he'll get better in time, but it's shocking. It's shocking. I have to keep a diary all the time. I've got a diary in my bag. I'm
no
on my
harm.
phone.
No
So I
harm.
have to write really simple things down, like taking my medication in the morning to remind me I've got alarms, you know. I've had to adapt my life to suit, but I come in treatment not knowing what I suffer from. Like an allergy for you. So if you were really a weird cold and doctor said to you, so here's some antibiotics, you have to take this to get you better, you take it, won't you?
Yeah.
So I was ill but didn't know I was suffered with this illness, the disease of addiction, which is a twofold illness, a obsession of the body and compulsion of the mind. That teaches out in rehab, so when I take the first drug, I'll smash it till it's gone. Once never enough and a thousand too many.
Yeah.
Once too many, a thousand never enough, sorry.
Well, that's yeah.
So-
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
register quite right.
Yeah.
It rolled.
Thank you. Yeah. But when I've put that drug in me, my obsession and my body and mind tell me I need more and more and more and more. So my medicine nowadays is meetings, helping others, volunteer work, helping others. I'm a volunteer at Sweet Kitchen in Blackburn and a sport. Help others. I do smash the meetings, the fellowships. Can I mention them?
Yeah,
Is
of
that
course.
okay?
Yeah, of course.
So I
Sure, man.
do 2 NA meetings a week, 2 AA meetings. I know it's drug specific, but alcohol is just as bad as drugs, because what it does to your body. You know, I've learned so much in rehab.
Yeah.
I've learned everything about drugs.
So cannabis is mine. So
Cannabis
mine
is a gateway drug.
cannabis is mine. But for
So,
luck, it's the
for
one
me,
I've gone up. Cannabis has introduced me to all these other ones, but
yeah.
I've managed to knock everything else off, and everything else is gone. But I still have
I
cannabis.
still love the smell of
I
cannabis.
still have to have my cannabis. My cannabis is still, so it's kind of like driven, and thank God I've got the medical card for it. You know, nowadays,
Yeah.
so I can't get criminally done for it. But I've suffered at the hands of the criminal side of it. So 46 previous.
Listen, it's not like having spice and fucking injecting in your neck.
No,
is it?
it's not. But it's what you said about the addiction part of it. So
Yeah.
now we're talking about being heavy. Then
So for
so
me,
when my brain,
I'll tell you
when
what.
I don't have it, and my brain is starting now, it's not. It's not to a point where I'm in a toilet. I'm gonna get sick, but the whole stress, the whole.
Let's have a joint. I used to just love rolling.
I never thought I could rattle off cannabis. I never thought I could rattle off cannabis.
Well, you can. You can.
I've rattled off cannabis.
You can.
It's now come to the stage
Don't play it down.
where I have rattled off cannabis, and I thought to myself, like, I said to Tom, actually, when we went down to London 4 years ago today, we drove back
Yeah.
from London from a mate who died of a brain tumour. So you're lucky that even if it's not the drugs and it was the liaisons, my mate was 32 years of age. Money wasn't, no, he toured the world. He was in the Wanted boy band, you know, the I'm glad you came. He sang that song, man.
Yeah.
He was super famous, this guy.
Wow.
And he got diagnosed with a brain tumour. And this day, 4 years ago, we came back from his funeral. And I said it to Tom, because, you know, these are the things that make you think. So I said to Tom, I said, if there was a pill in the morning, and we could take this pill overnight, and you wake up, and you're completely flushed of everything.
Yeah.
And the world was better. Or just what would the world be like? Even if it is cannabis. You know, I have not looked at the world through sober eyes, ever. as an adult, I've
know,
never looked at the
bizarre,
world
innit?
through sober eyes.
So yeah,
So it's like, is there a big difference?
yeah,
Like looking
there is.
through the world through
Yeah,
sober
there
eyes.
is. So I'll explain. I'm sober now. I think it's 9 months and 5 days, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you.
You got it.
One day at a time.
That's it.
So now I enjoy waking up. Feel blessed to wake up because I'm so lucky. I could be dead. I could be a vegetable. My kids could be fatherless. I'm going to Rovers tomorrow, playing Leicester with my son.
There we go.
Gifts of recovery. My daughter's coming to my graduation of a week. My sisters. And lads, you just don't see it yourself because it's my kids. They come out to rehab. I went out for days with my sisters, my kids. And you don't see it yourself, but when one of your friends, like Anna, his kids and family come, you see, and it's loving, it's heartwarming, and it feels blessed. You do feel blessed, and just know it might be controversial, but NAA is not a religious program; it's a spiritual program.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We've actually,
don't
we've
put
got,
off
and
the-
just keep it going. So just bear with the time. So we've got 28, and we've done that. So we've probably got. So when it hits 28, 35, that's the time we've literally used our hour. Next week we're going 2 hours long. We've actually it's only an hour long show. Normally what we do is we play it. This entire show is going to be dedicated towards you. So we've kind of got a whole picture there, your story, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
your life, you know what I mean. So I was saying about the reason why we're using this platform to put the message out.
Yeah.
Is because of the kids, is because of these young lads that are out there in the rap music, in the stuff. What have you got directly to say to these individuals? Now, obviously, not going to, give them crap. So what's the message like? Because you are someone who's been on every angle of it, from an addict to being top shot.
Smoking weed and thinking you cool isn't cool. It's not. It's so not. So you start off in rehab. I had friends that started smoking weed, young age like I did, and end on ketamine. That's the thing with young people nowadays, ketamine, and it's wrecking people. It is absolutely wrecking people. And one of my best friends in rehab, a lad who in the hospital with you as well. And he was like a stick when he were in the hospital. We learned through talking that he was going the same rehab as me. And he's smashed it as well, like I have. He's graduated now and he's doing well. But he's still young, and he's got reservations, I think, about, life, and because he's young and just, it isn't cool. It isn't cool. And rapping about it and glamorizing it, it's just young, it's ruining young lives, And listen, all the stuff I've told you about, I witnessed my mum die in 2012, I couldn't get clean. I had 3 kids, I couldn't get clean. My dad died in 24, I couldn't get clean. Couldn't do it for anyone at all. I wish I got it when I was younger. I so wish I got it. I wasted so much time, so much of my life, so many opportunities, and
countless pounds.
endless.
But that's the least of the worries when it comes to everything, isn't it? That's the least of the worries.
I'd have paid 3 times over to do what I'm doing in rehab when I was 20. I'd have paid 3 times over. And I can't stressing off, you know, the damage they're doing to myself now. Just smoking weed and, you know, I know where mine used, you know, take me a joint for me out there, and digging my neck again and drinking so stupid.
To be fair, we're sat here, and that's why I was looking at the stuff and at the process, mine, because say it how it is. We've got Anthony who's sorted stuff out. We've got chaos. So I'm trying to get chaos and Anthony to have, and all I thought to myself, imagine we go back out there and they've gone. Imagine it. I'd be like ringing up Billy, going, Billy, you need to get down here and need fucking, you know, Anthony's got it. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be, it's so easy for that to happen. And that process thought has happened since we've been sat here. Cause that's why I'm looking, I'm like, because I know that they're not bad, but if someone just whipped out something there and then whipped it out, all it takes is that 2 seconds.
Strong, he's armed up now.
I hope to death. I hope to death.
Honestly, I promise you.
I hope to death. I've got more. I do have strength in Anthony, but and I have strength in me there. It's just, it's concoction. It's called what if and concoction. You know what I mean? You bring down someone to have the best of time to try and sort something out, and all of a sudden he's like, "Do you want to kill lad?"
So Andy,
you know what I mean?
the Andy you know now, it's just Andy to me. That's my friend who come through rehab, treatment.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the chaos he'd done beforehand.
Yeah.
I knew what he'd told me,
You didn't know about Charlie Beach. You didn't know about the YouTube,
nothing
the fame, that he has. Oh man, I've watched hours of Anthony.
I have now.
I've watched hours, mate.
He's still my friend now.
Yeah, he's still my mate. He become my mate in that moment. He actually, we all thought he passed away. So on one episode there was actually, we're gonna have to literally cut it off here now anyway. So just literally say
Thank you for letting me share my experience, strengthen up. Okay, I hope someone got a message from it.
Yeah, well, we're going to get it up onto the YouTube. We're going to push it out there. We're going to start doing it. And that's it. Kids, stop getting involved in this bloody game. You're getting used. You're getting victimised. Nothing about whipping in the pots. Anyone says whipping in the pots, you're getting blacklisted from Rhyme Republic. Simple as that. Change your bars. Yeah, or sending radio edits. It's simple. They don't, mate. You know, they don't. Not that they don't care. They don't realise. They're ignorant to not understand.
Don't care.
The dealers don't care. Yeah. The dealers don't care.
Money. That's all it is.
Money, and they're all a pawns in the chess game. And even the dealers are pawns, mate. They just don't understand it either. We're all victims, and everyone else is a victim in some kind of way. Let's stop and help each other. But that's it this week, episode 82. Where bars build them.